The pistachio Kunafa, I think it's a worldwide craze at the moment.
Did you know that the chocolate market is around 736 million?
Bigger brands, because they're mass produced, they have to use a level of compound in their chocolate, which means they have more preservatives, which means there are more vegetable fats, palm oils involved.
A box of Vocca to somebody, who would it be?
I would want to give it to Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh, of course.
Yes, I think the man would. I know he doesn't eat chocolates, but just for the sake of it, that moment. The key for any innovation is to just be a child and let go and just let your inner child come out.
हाय गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द फैट किड शो, जहां हम करेंगे गपशप एकदम ही अनफिल्टर्ड। अगर आपने अभी तक मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है, प्लीज डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and now we are live on Angami as well. In today's episode, we are actually exploring the world of chocolate in Dubai. Did you know that the chocolate market is around 736 million and it is supposed to grow by 5.6% by the year of 2032? It is insane. Chocolate is a very big deal here in UAE because we have a lot of tourism and they always want to get chocolate back when they go back home. So today, we are going to talk with the co-founder of the most viral chocolate here in UAE, Mr. Ashwin, and his company's name is Vocca. Hi Ashwin.
Hi, Reshma.
Welcome to the Fat Kid Show.
Thank you so much. It's glad to be here.
How are you doing?
All well,
How's
all
the
well.
chocolate world right now?
It's absolutely insane, to be honest. You know, there's so much happening. The pistachio Kunafa, I think it's a worldwide
Yes.
craze at the moment. So we are riding that wave at this point. But at the same time, a lot of occasions. We have Diwali coming, there's Christmas, and we have Ramadan in a couple of months. So
Yes.
definitely a busy next couple of months.
So there's a season in the chocolate when it comes to the growth of revenue.
Absolutely, 100%. I think summers is usually when it's the lowest. Mostly people are traveling, nobody wants to engage, and overall, nobody wants to eat a lot of chocolates during the summers, what we have understood. But during that time also, we try to come out with flavors that's cool, fresh, tropical. But at the same time, the biggest chunk of the revenue of the business happens in the Q3 and Q4, and of course during Ramadan and Eid. Yeah.
Do you think that tourism in UAE is also affecting a lot when it comes to chocolate growth revenue?
100%. I think in Dubai duty free, the biggest aspect of sale happens for confectionery. Probably why? Because everyone traveling through Dubai wants to carry a piece of Dubai back home. And we have a lot of brands on display there which kind of cater to this particular need. So that is one aspect. That is enough data to show that people want their hands on chocolates in Dubai.
Yeah. Ashwin, before we deep dive into your making of the chocolate, coming with innovative flavors and your marketing, I want to understand regarding how do you differentiate Vocca with the giants in the market? There are hundreds of brands. Every single
Absolutely.
day, a homegrown brand comes up. What stands Vocca apart? And how would you level up your chocolate? Would you consider it to be the regular chocolates, a premium chocolate, or how do you place your chocolate into
I
it?
think it's all in the label. We do have a lot of big brands in the market, but at the end of the day, what we use is something called couverture chocolates or real chocolates. Whereas the bigger brands, because they're mass produced, they have to use a level of compound in their chocolate, which means they have more preservatives, which means there are more vegetable fats, palm oils involved. So that ingredient in itself kind of helps us to differentiate in what we do. We have clean labels, we have clean ingredients, and that is very evident the moment you eat Vocca.
Okay. So I know that you are from an architect background.
Yes.
What inspired you to start Vocca, and when was the company founded?
The company was founded in 2019, and I'm an absolutely.
This is in COVID.
This is absolutely during COVID. So there was a need, a requirement for chocolates, and that's how we kind of dived into the world of chocolate. You know, left jobless in 2018. This was the need of the hour to sustain myself, and chocolate just happened to be the business that I got into with my partner. So what happened then was a whirlwind of emotions and journey which I can't express myself in words. But basically, there was a requirement for chocolates, and we started doing our research on chocolates to cater to the gifting aspect of chocolates. And when we started off our business, we were primarily within the corporate gifting space, whereas during your festive seasons or your corporate gifting seasons, we customize boxes and we provide chocolates. And that's how the inception of Vocca began. And we are competing with bigger brands in the market, be in terms of quality as well as packaging as well. And that kind of helped us to, put our foot through the door when we started off in 2019.
Did your architectural knowledge help you anyhow in the chocolate industry?
I think every day it plays a big role because I'm very meticulous and particular about attention to detail. So, be it from when we created the logo to even designing the packaging, and even now, my attention to detail, or that OCD element of getting lines straight and making sure there is no jagged corners and all of that kind of comes into play in everything we do, especially the packaging aspect.
What is your main role as a co-founder? What is that one thing that you're really into it? Be it marketing, be it finance, or be it innovation?
Sure. So
How
as
do you
of
divide
now,
it?
we are three pillars, and we're happy to say that all of my three pillars right now are also my family members, as in my brothers as well. So I primarily look after the sales and marketing aspect, while my co-founders, Vineet, he looks after the operations and production side of things, while Prashant looks after finance and administration.
Great. So it'll be great talking about a lot more marketing and how did you place your brand in the very
Sure.
competitive market. So chocolate is perishable. In summers, your transportation becomes a lot more difficult than
Yes.
here in UAE, especially rather anywhere in Gulf. How do you combat that?
I think there's no easy way around it. If you don't want your chocolates to melt, then you gotta use preservatives. And I think this is also a lesson for you. If you see a chocolate that is not being melted away during summers or during direct contact to heat, irrespective of whatever brand it is, know that there are compound elements or even additives added to it. Real chocolate will melt 100%. And I think that is the beauty of real chocolate. Even with Vocca, also we tell them not to even chill it in the fridge. Keep it at room temperature because real chocolate needs to melt at body temperature the moment you consume it. And you get the fine textureness when you kind of consume it and not crunch into it. So that is how you understand the quality of the product you're having.
So the difference lies also when if I'm freezing the chocolate, the taste will differ, even if it's a Kit Kat, which is like a very regular chocolate
Yes.
brand.
Yes.
And also when I consume it at the room temperature.
Absolutely, absolutely. Real chocolate, in a sense, Kovacha chocolate has about 37% of cocoa butter. That's how you distinguish it. You'll see it on the labels. And that will melt at body temperature. So even if it's Kit Kat, I would suggest that not to freeze it because it will lose its texture and that silky smoothness of the chocolate in itself when you do that. Because what you then get is just a crunchy bite and the chocolate in itself solidifies. And I kind of, it's just me, I'm kind of nitpicky on all these things.
No, of
But
course.
yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be.
Okay. So, Ashwin, the thing is, as a consumer, for me, when it comes to chocolate, it's either dark, white, or milk chocolate. Plus, for me, the taste is sweet. That's it. How do I differentiate from it being a premium chocolate with a high end quality and also a regular chocolate? What are the factors that I can consider?
I would
Except the ingredients, of course, but when it
Sure.
comes to taste.
It's the percentage of cocoa that mainly plays into this. Higher the percentage of cocoa means the more expensive it is to make. Lesser the percentage means there's a room to put in preservatives, to put in cocoa butter, to put sugar and all of that. So if you like your chocolate to be clean, I would suggest to highly go for higher percentage. 55 and above is definitely apt. I personally love dark chocolate, so that's what I prefer. But otherwise, I believe all chocolates deserve a space in everyone's heart. So be
Do you
it
think
white.
white chocolate is a chocolate?
Honestly, I don't. But there are a lot of people that loves it, and who am I to say no to that? So
Yeah.
white chocolate is chocolate at the end of the day, I feel.
Do you think that now that people are really getting health conscious,
Yeah.
the dark chocolate is getting much more educated and become the first choice for a lot of people? You think the change has shifted in the market as well in terms of the growth?
I think, again, when you say people are being more health conscious, it's a similar phenomenon where you say that, being vegan or, gluten free elements are becoming popular. It is definitely becoming popular, but that doesn't mean the masses are converting to it. The masses still love their milk chocolate. The masses still love a classic old sugary confectionery treat at the end of the day. So similarly, like I mentioned, it is becoming popular, but definitely the volume still lies in the
So the
traditional
volume is
chocolate.
increasing despite of increase in the preference for dark chocolate
Yes,
by a lot of
yes,
people.
yes.
Yeah. So one thing that I really appreciate, again, UAE is a very competitive market when it comes to brand. What are the challenges did you face when you were working on Vocca and the first year of the growth and the income and the revenue?
Well, okay, there are a lot of aspects now in which you
Yeah.
mentioned. So, as a brand, when we're trying to build a brand, we position ourselves on a premium level. The biggest challenge was that we are not visible anywhere. So, there are some brands that people compare ourselves to when we say we are a premium brand because they see those brands in malls and showrooms and all of that. So the biggest challenge for us was visibility. We overcame that by innovating our products. So what we do is that for every season, for every occasion, be it on the packaging or the flavor itself, we innovate, and that has helped us to put our products out there, and that has also initiated the customers to try our chocolates more than the traditional chocolates. Now, in terms of revenue and income, of course, there have been times where, end of the day, we have a team to, feed. So there have been times where we just have to walk home without a penny, but we need to keep the team thriving. We need to make sure the team is fed. We need to make sure they are motivated because without the team, there's no Vocca. So there has been definitely tough times, but, getting across that is part of the journey.
So during, you said that you started with COVID, okay, and the market was really low in 19, 20, 21 especially. How did the brand survive all this while? And how did you commercialize later, not just gifting and being there?
Yeah.
How did it
I
happen?
think surviving through pandemic was the easy part because there was just me and my partner, uh, and a chef and let's say one more guy. So we were a lean team. So we knew how to generate enough revenue to sustain ourselves. But in turn, those kind of gap months gave us time to build more on the story of the brand, build on the packaging, build on the brand identity. And by the time things were up and running, we were ready to kind of knock it out of the park.
Ingredients is what differentiates one chocolate from the other. How is process at Vocca? How do you go about the entire making of the chocolate process?
So, of course, cocoa is harvested. After that, you ferment it, you roast it, you grind it. Then you use a conch to make it silky smooth after mixing with cocoa butter. That's you get this consistency of chocolate. Then there's this process called tempering where you melt and then cool at the same time, and that is kept at a long period of time to get that consistency of the chocolate. You mold it using the certain mold you have, and then you create the fillings, and then that's about it. You cool it. Chocolate, making chocolate in itself is not rocket science. It's quite easy, to be honest. But kind of coming out with good flavors, coming out with consistency in terms of the flavors you produce, I think that's the challenge. Using the right quality of ingredients, that's a challenge. But I believe that it's not a hard job to make chocolate, but making good chocolate, it takes a team.
Ashwin, now that you are the person handling sales and marketing, let's talk more about the four P's of marketing. We already spoke about the product. What stands Vocca apart is the ingredients that is used and the innovation that you come up with. Rest, you said that the product has no rocket science as such when it comes to chocolate. Do you want
Yeah.
to add anything to this bit?
In terms of innovation,
Yes, in terms of your product in general, if any point that I'm missing.
like I said, it's we. There are a lot of things that we can do which a bigger player or a bigger brand cannot, which is make quick decisions and act upon what's happening in the market or what the consumer needs. That has also allowed us to do a lot of things.
More control.
More control, absolutely. I mean, that is the benefit of being lean.
Yeah.
That is the benefit of a company that is just scaling up. I hope we remain like this as we become bigger and better. But as of now, this has been more of a superpower.
The decision making turnaround time
Yes.
is very much reduced.
Yes.
Do you think that because it's a family owned business, let's say that now, because every pillar you said is your cousin,
Yeah.
and except the staffs, of course, and the chef, do you think that because it was a family business, it really helped you? And if you were doing alone or with somebody else, it would have been a different scenario.
I think no, the family aspect was just a reason for us to meet or be together. But the mindset is what kind of kept us together.
Yeah, that is very important, I think,
yeah.
when it comes to
Yeah.
different founders.
Yeah. So the vibe, the energy, the wavelength, all of that is what kept us together and has not we have not killed each other, so to speak. So
Yeah. So that's the product bit. Let's talk about the pricing. Do you think, still, I personally say that a majority of the consumer are price conscious consumer here, even in UAE, except a lot of premium, which is very less percentage overall. Do you think that because of the pricing and having finest quality ingredient at Vocca, do you think it has been a little of a setback for you?
I mean, we are in a very consumer centric time right now.
Yeah.
People know what they want to consume, they know what they want to eat, they know what they want to purchase. They're very aware about how to read labels, what nutritional facts are. So there's no two ways about it. You can't fool a consumer. So that is also why we want to use good quality ingredients, and that definitely comes at a price. And there are people that are willing to pay a price to eat healthy products or to eat good quality stuff. So, I mean, I think it's like a catch-22 situation. You can't have a good quality product at a cheap price, and you can't have a cheap product at a
Yeah.
good quality ingredient.
But
So-
you know, the thing is, in general, I would say that this Dubai viral Kunafa chocolate is like all over the
Yeah.
world now,
Yeah.
not just in UAE. I have friends calling from India that the next time you come, please get it. So I did have a chance to order the chocolate that you made from Noon. And I did also the original one as well. There's not a lot of difference when it comes to taste. But the pricing, it's, I think, about 1/3 of the price that you're
Yeah.
selling at. So maintaining that quality, giving that to a consumer at 1/3 of the price is already a big win, I think.
Yeah. And there's another factor there, which is the size.
Hmm.
So our size is definitely about, I believe it's about 125 grams.
Hmm.
It's smaller, which also helps the consumer to finish
Consumer,
it
yeah.
by themselves in one go if
Yeah.
they want to.
Yeah.
And that also helps us to provide the product at a more cost effective price point. So we have not made anything exorbitant, but of course we are also working on making cool, big, huge things as well for the vanity sake of it.
Yeah.
But end of the day, we know that a consumer is happy with this particular size, and at least this is what the feedback has been.
Would you, if you had to reduce down your price point for the chocolate, do you think that you would compromise on the packaging? Not
the-
just you, in general, any
On the
business.
packaging,
Yes.
I mean,
Or you think that is like such a fraction of cost that it wouldn't bother?
no, the packaging definitely adds a cost to it. But it depends on where I'm selling it. So if I'm moving into more retail, supermarkets and so on, which, just to clarify, is not my target. But if I'm going there, then I'll have to be very conscious about my packaging. I'll have to go for cheaper alternatives because the margins are minimal, right? There are a lot of verticals and a lot of layers you have to pay off to. But since I'm doing directly D2C, or even online selling through aggregators, I have better control of the product and the price points. So right now, I don't aim to cut down on the packaging because the first perception of the product is packaging. People judge based on the cover of the book,
Yeah.
right? And I don't want to play around with that as of now.
Now that you mentioned that you are not looking at the retail side, selling Vocca at retail, so that brings me to my third P, that's the place. And why did you say that you don't want to go into there? Do you think that going direct to the consumer is helping the brand?
I mean, even within retail, there are segments where I can be. But when you talk about, let's say, a Carrefour or a Lulu, what happens is that you have a certain amount of brands which are way cheaper. So automatically, when your product goes there and when it's about 5x than the product, the consumer tends to go for the cheaper option. There the consumer is more price conscious, or there it's the art of retail is a whole different ball game altogether, right? So in order to attract that customer, you need to create more awareness. The customer needs to know why Vocca is more expensive. So at this early stage, especially it's 4 years down the line, we're still working on creating them brand awareness. Maybe let's say about 2-3 years down the line, when consumers know why Vocca is expensive, we would look at retail. But even then, at a segment where people are willing to pay a bit more of a premium price point.
But do you think this will slow down the growth of Vocca? When it's
Uh,
not available everywhere readily for me to go to the grocery shop and buy it.
So there are another couple of factors there as well. So when you go into retail, that means it becomes mass produced, mass market. That means the artisanal, handcrafted quality of the product right now will also kind of deteriorate. So that is also not something we are willing to play with a lot. As of right now, that's not a goal. That's not the values that we want to we don't want to tamper with. So there are other verticals like travel retail is a huge prospect, which is in airports. There our product will go well. I'm looking to tap into that. Moving into other markets through online partners, say be it Noon or
Yes.
others, they also kind of are very supportive, and there also it flies. So when it's directly selling it to the consumer, our price point flies. I don't think as of now it's tampering with our growth because our strategies are
Very
way
true.
different. Yeah.
Just want to congratulate you here that now Vocca will also be available in Saudi.
Thank you. Thanks.
I did see your Instagram stories there. So talking about promotion, how do you go about it? What all factors? Do you do digital marketing? Do you do collaboration with the influencers?
Yes, and yes. Digital marketing is there. I think without it's like a necessary evil. You
Yeah.
have to be online. You have to be active. You need to do your promotions there. But apart from that, what works best, or what I've seen gets the brand directly to the customers better, is influencers.
Yeah.
I think the biggest case study right now, even with the Dubai chocolate,
Yes.
the reason why it became so viral is because of these influencers via TikTok. So I think that is the quickest and fastest way, because there's already a community based or around that particular influencer, so to speak. So capitalizing on that would be the fastest and quickest way for a brand that is so young to grow.
Also, one more thing, that now that you are also working on your own social media page adds a lot of value as a co-founder. People want to know and want to listen directly from a co-founder
Yeah.
of what's happening in the brand, how your day looks like, what difficulties you face. And that's actually how a lot of people grew their brand back in India. In India, I think people are a lot more, because also one more aspect that plays an important role is nationality. Convincing every nationality, they have different taste, but different factors of consideration, different ways that they want to select a product also plays a lot of important
Yeah.
role. But when it comes to India, it's all Indians, just different state wise.
Yeah.
But that doesn't hamper a lot of their decision making.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to try it. During COVID and right after COVID, because these people started to share their stories, be it Cloud Kitchen, there are so many YouTubers growing in India with
Yeah.
Cloud Kitchen, and people follow them, and that is also giving them a revenue.
And that is the goal as well for us. We are looking to build a community around the brand, which I don't see a lot of players doing here, in terms of chocolates at least. So that's the goal, build a community, listen to
Yes.
the consumers, what they want,
Yes.
create things for them. Even in earlier back in my page, when I started my page, we had this series where we make these weird combinations as per whatever the people on Instagram say. So we did that. That was a fun little exercise. Unfortunately, I'm kind of running out of time to do that, but hopefully I would like to kickstart that soon. But these kind of things not only keeps the brand active, it kind of engages the people and the consumers, and I think that kind of trust and bond helps in scaling the
Yes.
brand as well.
I think this is what, for me, why I decided to have just DM you to
Yeah.
invite you for this podcast. One of the main reason is this. I love when the founder connect with people. And I really appreciate that. You have a lot on your shoulder. You have to run a company. Even if it's a small scale, medium scale, large scale, doesn't matter. But when I'm listening directly from the co-founder as a consumer,
Yeah.
you are already up there.
Yeah.
And that really stands a lot of things apart, honestly.
Thank you for that. Means a lot that people are
Yeah.
actually noticing what we are trying to do.
Like, I associate you when it comes to Vocca. Unfortunately, I'm not aware a lot more about your co-founders, but also because they handle more of the internal
Yeah,
aspect, the
yeah,
finance and everything. You are the marketing guy who is supposed to be out there.
yeah,
So whenever I see Vocca, for me it's Ashwin.
yeah. But that's the thing, this is not a one-man show. So
Of course. There's
the
always
kind of
somebody
work
else.
that
Yes,
meet
yes.
my partners, or especially the people in the kitchen and the team
Yes,
that they
yes.
kind of pull off, it's insane. It's insane.
And I've seen your reels, honestly. There
Yeah.
are people you involve as
Yeah.
well, backside of the kitchen. If
Yeah.
there's a disaster, you want to show what happens because it's not a sunny day every day.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there are mishaps happening in the kitchen. I'm sure there might have been a point where you have to throw because of some reason, XYZ. The quality is not of that, the standards
Yeah.
that you want. Or XYZ. I have no
Yeah.
clue what happens back in the kitchen. But did you ever face like something went wrong and you just had to discard the entire batch of it?
We don't have, I mean, fortunately, we don't have to discard batches, but keeping up with the demand and scaling up has been a challenge every day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that has been the biggest problem or biggest hurdle that every day we're tackling. So hopefully we try to keep up with that very, very soon.
Yeah. So the next one is about your partnerships and how do you go about that, helping with the brand placement? Do you look for partnerships, collaborating with other brands? How has it helped you?
Uh,
Like, did collaboration with Noon really help you?
Sure. So the collaboration with Noon is a complementing collaboration, so to speak. We have a great product. They have a fantastic distribution. They have
Yes.
amazing coverage. So combining these two forces, it's pure magic. So it's always important to either look at complementing.
It was actually at a right place and the right time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So again, being there or being available, that's
Yeah.
also important, like you mentioned. But it's always important to have complementing brands so that you can also kind of piggyback on their audience. You know that, okay, partnering with this brand means that they are capable of purchasing our product because this product is also on a premium level, or maybe this is already having that kind of target audience. So you need to identify what kind of audience the opposite brand has before you partner up with them, because that can either make it or break it.
Yeah. So, before we get into the fun segment of your innovation with the chocolates, I want to know one last thing regarding the regulatories here in UAE. Do you think that has played a difficult role for you, or it has been easy to keep up with the regulatory demands from the government here in UAE?
Not really. I think it's a fantastic thing, to be honest. The Dubai government, municipality in general, our factory is located in Ajman, but it's great. I mean, people have been very supportive, and that also ensures every brand to put out only quality products out there. So from the get-go itself, it has been about good quality stuff. Why? Because Dubai has kind of treated us or kind of
Yes.
fed into us that we don't tolerate anything lesser. So that has helped us a lot.
You know, Ashwin, one more thing. Like, if I eat a dairy milk here and if I eat it in India,
Yeah,
there's a difference.
there's a world of a difference.
And people don't realize it unless they eat it.
Yeah.
Here, I understand the flavor of
Yeah.
a Cadbury chocolate.
Yeah.
There, it's pure sugar.
I'm more of a Kit Kat guy, so
Yeah.
the Kit
Even
Kats
Kit
are
Kat.
like, it's insane. It's
Even
insane.
white chocolates
Yeah.
or Galaxy, even now they've started to sell Hershey's, and it's a different
Yeah.
flavor altogether.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. What is happening right now with the innovation bit at Vocca?
So
First
right,
thing, Oman chips.
Yes.
How did that idea come home?
I think the key for any innovation is to just be a child and let go and just let your inner child come out. So this idea when we had about Oman chips, it just struck my partner one day, and then he said that let's make Oman chips. And me being growing up in UAE, it kind of was like, yeah, man, I mean, let's
Flashback
do this.
of
Yeah,
memories.
100%. And it's like an OG flavor. Who wouldn't want to try this?
Yeah.
Now the challenge was how to make it edible. Thinking of Oman chips and chocolate, it might not be the most pleasing thing to everyone, but we need to make it work. We don't want to just launch a product for the sake of it. People need to like it. So that's where our team of chefs come in, and they kind of connected the dots.
How did they react when you said, this is what I want to do?
No, my team is amazing.
Yeah.
So they're just open to ideas. They love innovation. It's very rare they get to do innovation because they're constantly producing. So whenever we go with innovations, they're like happy to try something on. Because, like I said earlier, we tried something with beef jerky, and I want to do something with beef jerky. So what can we do about it? And my chef was like, you know what, with beef jerky, because salty, let's try it with some lotus biscoff, because that aftertaste will kind of balance it out. So we put out ideas, childish ideas, so to speak, and they connect the dots and make it and fulfill to fruition. So with Diwali that's coming around the corner, we're coming out with Parle G, a combination with Parle G. I'm not saying what the combination is. Similarly, we are working on some interesting flavors with popcorns, and so there's a lot in the pipeline which I don't want to reveal. But innovation is the crux of a brand, and that is why we are sustaining, and that is how we'll be known as well moving forward.
Also, you launched the pumpkin spice as well. I
Yes.
think I've not seen that in a lot of chocolates.
Yes.
And it's one of my favorite winter drinks.
So the pumpkin spice was a brainchild between partners at Noon and Vocca as well. So Halloween is around the corner.
Yes.
So we came out with two flavors. One is pumpkin spice, and then there's a bloody raspberry. But it's a quite interesting flavor for a chocolate. The pumpkin spice, like you rightly mentioned, because
Spice. That
it's-
spice
exactly.
is what gives that chocolate a different kick.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's for us also. We were also kind of surprised on how we can. We know that it's a flavor that'll work, but on chocolate, how can we translate that? Again,
Yeah.
we put out these childish ideas. Our amazing chef kind of brings it into life.
If you could like literally think about the craziest idea, or if you already have, what would it be?
The craziest idea. We have actually done a couple of crazy ones. One was feta cheese coated in chocolate.
Oh, you know what? Last night before coming, I'm like in my head, if I could, what would it be? One was cheese chocolate.
Yeah.
Second was lavender chocolate.
Okay.
I have no clue why, but I feel that the
think lavender would
combination,
work.
lavender and the chocolate will be
Yeah.
a great, because I love lavender coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, and the third one, what was the third one? Forgot. Laban and chocolate. I have no clue why. Chocolate laban. I have zero clue why.
You never know. So we are at this point where we say never. Never say
Yeah,
never.
yeah.
So you
Maybe
never
you
know.
can
That
try.
might be your brains,
Yeah.
brainstroke. But we've done some weird stuff. We've done jalapenos with chocolate. Again, it'll appeal to a certain audience. It's spicy, it's
Yeah.
tangy. But we keep trying all this stuff. We've done like jackfruit with chocolate, which is fantastic, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
We do a lot of fresh fruits in chocolate, like pomegranate in chocolate. Unfortunately, the shelf life is so
Very
low
short.
with the fresh fruits. It's like a day or two at most. That's the only challenge. So people who come to our store can order and have it. But jackfruit has been my favorite.
But wouldn't freeze drying the fruits help you to increase the shelf life?
But then you would lose the juiciness of the fruit. So why the pomegranate chocolate works is because you bite on it, you have that explosion. Of flavors. So that will lose its source of
Yeah.
it if you freeze dry it. So
How was the feta cheese chocolate?
feta cheese chocolate was actually nice.
I
It was
know.
nice. It was
You
nice.
know, I don't know which country it is, but usually people prefer dark chocolate with wine and cheese.
100%.
And that's a
100%.
combination which is
In Italy.
classic, I think. I
Yes,
mean, like,
yes.
I don't drink
Along
wine,
with some
but
crackers. You have this cheese
yes,
board.
the cheese board.
So they do
yeah.
eat with dark chocolate, and some I think I don't remember the wine, but I think it's a darker wine that pairs well with dark chocolate.
Yeah. So maybe you can try lavender
Sure.
chocolate, just putting it out there. Yeah. Oh God, that was quite informative. I just have the last segment, and that's called as Unfiltered Sawal. I'm just gonna throw some rapid fire at you.
Sure.
Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, or white chocolate?
Dark chocolate any day.
Really, I am a big white chocolate fan.
I mean, again, that's why. So I'm not to say
So
what
I was
to
just
eat.
waiting. If he says no,
No.
I'll be like, Ashwin.
Every chocolate has a place in my heart.
Your favorite chocolate flavor you've ever made?
Favorite chocolate flavor ever made would be dark chocolate with caramel and fellitine, which is cornflakes. So,
Wow.
so it's an amazing crunch, which kind of neutralizes the sweetness, and you have a little bit of caramel, which
Bitter.
we make in house,
Ah.
along with the dark chocolate.
So
I mean,
it's
it's a
bitter,
classic.
it's chocolatey, it's the bitter caramel and the crunch.
Correct.
Wow,
It's
sounds
amazing.
nice. Yeah. I'm gonna visit your chocolate factory.
Absolutely.
If you could share the chocolate with any celebrity, who would it be?
Any chocolate with any celebrity,
Yeah.
Indian or
Anyone, whoever is like, if you could give like a box of Vocca to somebody, who would it be?
I would want to give it to Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh, wow, of course.
Yes, I think the man would.
Ah.
I know he doesn't eat chocolates, but just for the sake of it, that moment,
Okay, what do you think is the best time to eat chocolate?
every day, anytime. I think
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no time limits. You should not limit yourself to eating chocolates. Uh, just be careful of what you put in, what kind of flavors and fillings.
Yeah.
But I feel you don't have to stop yourself.
Yes, yes. Okay, now last question. Why did the chocolate go to the school?
I don't know to. No, I don't know. I don't want to say
Because
anything.
it wanted because it wanted to be a smartie.
Okay, I see it. I see it.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Ashwin.
Thank you.
It
Thank you,
was
Reshma.
such a great conversation. A lot of insights about chocolate in UAE, the market size, how the process is, and how we think it is easy, but it's actually not to keep your brand
Yeah.
apart from a lot of things. Do you want to add any conclusive points from your end?
I'm on a mission to make Vocca UAE's finest chocolate brand, and we're just getting started.
That's a great one, and I am sure you'll be there. Just I've seen your brand grow in the past 6 months a lot, like where Vocca actually started getting highlighted amongst a lot of consumer.
Yeah.
And I'm talking this purely basis consumer.
Thank you.
Like my husband also said, "Arey, this is on noon. Let's try it." Like it's
Yeah.
happening. So it's there. It's out there. And I'm sure there's a lot more success ahead
Absolutely, absolutely.
because now you've also launched in a very bigger market that's Saudi. And yeah, excited to see what flavors you bring on the table.
We have a lot in the pipeline for Diwali itself. We have some releasing next week, so
Great.
be a watch out on that.
For sure.
Even for the Big Daddy as well, there's some interesting stuff coming out. So innovation is never stopping. So
Yeah.
we just have 2 more months till the end of the year, but even in those 2 months, you'll see a lot
And
more.
this Q4 is going to be crazy.
It's gonna be insane because you got
It's
Christmas
insane.
and season's
Yes.
greetings, and it's a lot, but it's
Yes,
gonna be
yes,
a
I'm
fun
sure.
couple of months.
For entrepreneur, this is the most challenging months.
Yes.
Q3, Q4, and then you build a relax in Q2. Yeah. So thank you so much, Ashwin, for being the part of the show. It was
Thank you, Reshma.
great talking to you, and I hope to see you again one more time.
Likewise. Cheers.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. If you did like this video, give a chocolatey thumbs up as well. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Gami. We are present everywhere. And do not forget to share this video as well. And I'll see you next time with another guest. Bye.